That needs to be a bit higher. What can I do about that? A book. Can you hear me? I am doing some talking before I play. 6 views. Can anyone hear me? Is there anyone out there? Right. Good evening. That's not drugs, that is what's it? Vicks inhaler. I'm clearing my sinuses. So there's a link been shared on my timeline. I think I'm live. I hope you can all hear me. Welcome to Dr. Bastard's Singing Club. I've not rehearsed again very much. I did a clip bit earlier, so my apologies. It's probably going to be a bit sketchy. I'm just going to get on with it. This song is called November Rain in Spain, because it's November. Grey skies, cigarettes and rain, all the things we do to numb the pain. Blue skies, lazy days and waves, waste our lives just digging our own graves. It was really nice to meet you, I didn't catch your name. Face won't be forgotten, but our paths won't cross again. You can be D'Artagnan and I'll be the Queen of Spain. Well, we return back to a path which is just boring and mundane in the cold November rain. I lost you and I lost my brain. We'll meet back at the bar next time we lose ourselves again. Galleries, cannabis and cheese. City caters for my every need. It was really nice to meet you, I didn't catch your name. Face won't be forgotten, but our paths won't cross again. You can be D'Artagnan, I'll be the Queen of Spain, as we return back to a life which is just boring and mundane in the cold November rain in Spain, as it falls mainly on the plain, and there's no reason to complain that your life's a fucking drain. This next song's called Sometimes. It's about, it's advice that I never follow about how to deal with stress. Sometimes we all get carried away. Sometimes we don't know what to say. Sometimes you want to write some reggae, sit around and just get high all day. And sometimes you have to suffer a fool. Sometimes it's hard to keep cool, but in time, you know you might even find a little bit of peace in your own mind, and you don't have to suffer in silence all of the time. Sometimes keeping your mouth shut isn't a crime. Keep all them bad thoughts to yourself and contemplate. Say yes sir, bend over. Try to appear to cooperate, and sometimes you know you're gonna be wrong, and sometimes you need to just play along. At these times, recite the words of the song. Get through the day, my friend, and smoke on your bong. And sometimes you know you're gonna be right. Sometimes you can't be bothered to fight. At these times, don't get all bogged down with spite. Get through the day, my friend, sit back and ignite, and there will always be people in life after fortune and fame. If you walk down that path, it will bring you shame. You will end up pointing your finger, casting the blame. Much, much easier to learn the rules and then try to play the silly game. Sometimes we all get carried away. Sometimes we just don't know what to say. Sometimes you want to write some reggae. Doesn't mean you should get high all day. Sometimes. This next song is about my favourite serial killers. In the background here we have this mask, this mask, and that looks a bit like Albert Fish. He is one of my favourite serial killers. It's just, you know, his works were quite impressive, really. You know, this guy looks a bit like Ed Gein. You know, obviously Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of thing going on, but you know, Joker sort of thing. But then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was actually inspired by Ed Gein, you know, so yeah, there you go. Who's your favourite serial killer? Please tell me in the links. Comments, whatever they're called. I'm not really that good with technology. Only a network engineer. Here's a little something for your brain to digest. It's a list of the serial killers I like best. I'll start the ball rolling with my man Fred West. He's got a prostitute wife and a taste for incest. He's gonna keep it in the family the way that it goes. Burying the bodies under the patio, hiding in the cupboard while his wife puts on a show. Everybody knows that Rose is a hoe, the next celebrity to make my list. Like small boys, I'm talking about Albert Fish, a man who put pins in his crotch for pleasure. He abducted little kids to digest them at his leisure. As a serial killer. Wake up in the morning and you munch on serial killer. I'm gonna give a shout out to my man Ed Gein. His crimes were considered depraved and obscene. All he ever wanted was some love from his mother, so he dug up dead bodies and he murdered his own brother. Nobody could save him, not even his attorney. Had a whole house filled with human taxidermy, a ghastly display of all the bits that remain. So they put him in an asylum and they branded him insane. He was a serial killer. Wake up in the morning and you munch on serial killer. A higher body count than Godzilla. Cool. Thank you, Natalie, for loving this. This song's called When the Lights Go Out. It's about like running out of oil and climate change and stuff like that. I was just 14 when it dawned on me. It's a bleak future for humanity. We're dependent on the fuel sources starting to run out. We haven't got enough to survive, well I doubt. 10 years later, what's in store for me? I can barely afford electricity. Work 16 hours and 60%, spending all the rest on the food and rent. 20 years later, what's in store? Staring in the face of the Third World War. With powers inefficient and we couldn't use the sun. I wasn't listening because the fighting begun, but there ain't no way and there ain't no goal. All been stripped from the ground and sold. Nothing left to burn and we'll all go cold. Trying to tell a story that's already been told. Most people start to starve, they turn on the elite. They're tired of them having food and heat. Around this time all the knowledge is lost, cause we turn up all the data centers due to the cost. 64, I'm at death's door. There ain't any healthcare anymore. No medicine, no industry. The dying remains of a society. But tell me mate, does it end this way? We all try a little bit of change today. Try and take a little piece of life and make it right. Stop depending on the ancient sunlight, cause there ain't no oil and there ain't no gold. All been stripped from the ground and sold. Nothing left to burn and we'll all go cold. Trying to tell a story that's already been told. Plus we've left it way too late to make a difference. It's best if we burn out and fade away. There was industrial revolution and it caused all this pollution, and now there's simply no solution and the human race is in a state of decay. Na 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 na, you're all gonna die. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, we're all gonna die. Don't blame me, I rode my bike to work. They spend most of my time wasting my time. I've no need for your ambition and I'm doing just fine. Why should I be working when I can recline and take time for what's important, cause it isn't a crime? We shouldn't have to take it. What's that, you disagree? Do you enjoy your life of servitude where nothing comes for free? It's true, indoctrination is the new world order. People aren't enslaved, they're just lambs to the slaughter. Confused and controlled by the ruling strong and stable, who leech upon our profits because we made it able. So I'll spend some time for what is mine, relaxing in my chair. Grow some food and write a verse, excuse this vacant stare. Spend most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just wasting my time. Most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just wasting my time. Most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just wasting my time. Most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just wasting my time. When I get a pie, there's a piece they always take. If I choose to eat it, I don't get my cake. I wouldn't really mind if it seems our lives compared, but the thieves who take my taxes are all fucking millionaires. Money misspent on campaign trails to further their ambitions. We've got the public by the balls, a statement and a mission. Integrate, assimilate, and now you're a commodity, so pay your taxes from the war and join the Decay. They spend most of my time wasting wasting my time. Most of my time just go wasting my time. Most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just go wasting my time. Most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just go wasting my time. Most of my time wasting my time. Most of my time just wasting my time. Right, sorry about that, got a bit emotional there and a bit wound up. Anger management. Right, this next song is Refugee Zucchini. Yeah, you don't really need to, you know, refugees are people, aren't they? So be nice to people. Yeah, that's the introduction. He was the biggest courgette in the allotment, and then this gust of wind blew him away. He landed far away in a patch of onions, and this is what those onions had to say. They said, go home, Zucchini, this place is not where you should be. Your skin is far too greeny. The tale of the refugee Zucchini. Next he wandered on into a leek patch, and them leeks stood there all big and green and tall. He thought, this is a place I might belong here. It turned out that was not the case at all. They said, go home, Zucchini, this place is not where you should be. Your skin is far too greeny. The tale of the refugee Zucchini. Finally the winter, it did come around, and the gardener committed his harvest. He munched upon some onions and he munched upon some leeks. It was his courgettes he liked the best. He said, delicious Zucchini, my belly is where you should be. Its texture is also creamy. The tale of the refugee Zucchini. And the moral of that story is, be nice to everyone, because we all end up in some rich cunt's belly. Right, this next song, I've got two more songs. This next song is about Her Majesty the Queen. We love our Queen, God save our Queen. Queenie, 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 Queen. No. Mrs. Windsor, do you know what would be great? If you take all of your money and return it to the state. Mrs. Windsor, it's not up for debate. Do us all a favour and please just add Decay. Mrs. Windsor, your house is far too large, and I bet you like the policies suggested by Nigel Farage. Mrs. Windsor, and your inbred family, you live a life of comfort whilst we get austerity. We get austerity. Mrs. Windsor, your race Mrs. Husband too. It's embarrassing that our country has ambassadors like you. Mrs. Windsor, it's alleged you killed off Di. I bet you'd like to dig her up and fuck her in the eye. Mrs. Windsor, whilst we have a monarchy, our country can never be a true democracy. Mrs. Windsor, I wish that you were dead. We should have a revolution and cut off your fucking head. Cut off your fucking head. La 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 la, God save the Queenie Queen. Britain's really great because it's got a queen. Queenie, 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 she's on the money. Queenie, 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 Queen. Mrs. Windsor, do you know what would be great? Do us all a favour and please just abdicate. Right. The next song I used to play, for the next song, I used to play Fuck the Police by NWA. But I recently found out that Ice Cube, who wrote that song, is a Trump supporter. So I can't possibly bring myself to play that song. So, no. So, you know, instead, I'm going to play another song. This is an old blues song about a guy who was taken from his place of origin and moved thousands, hundreds, thousands of miles away. Uprooted to another land, and he had to get used to like a whole new way of living. So this song, yeah, hope you like it. This is the story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. If you'd like to come in and just sit right there, I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Belle in West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is where I spend most of my day, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Shooting some b-ball outside the school. A couple of guys, they were up to no good. They started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in water and fighting my mom all scared. She said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle in Belle. You're moving to Belle. I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh and it had dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was where. But I thought, no, forget it, you're home to Belle Air. I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, your horns will smell you later. I looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Belle Air. I'm the Prince of Belle Air, the Fresh Prince of Belle Air. Thank you, good night.